What's up everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on Lex Alexas. Today we've got some more championship score predictions. We've made it to match day 20. So it's that time again guys to leave your score predictions in the comments down below. So you guys can have a chance to enter the Lex Alexas Football Prediction League. The latest community post should see the latest updates of the Lex Alexas Football Prediction League. So if you guys do want to compete within this league, just make sure you comment your predictions in the comments down below and you guys will be entered for free for a potential prize at the end of this league as well. As always, you'll always see my Premier League predictions as well. I didn't decide to predict the midweek games that are currently ongoing, but I will be predicting the weekend games and you guys can have the option to be doing those as well. If you guys like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the growth of this channel. If we can hit maybe close to 50 likes, if we can, that'd be absolutely amazing. Please hit the subscribe button if you've not done so too. That also really helps the growth of this channel too. It really does help. And please share the channel too. All these little things are free to do and they really do help the growth of this channel. But without any further ado, let's start predicting these weekend's games. Let's start off with tomorrow's games. So let's go for Coventry versus Birmingham. So this is a bit of a local game between these two sides. I think based on how they're playing at the moment, you'd be thinking that Coventry may be the favourites going into this game. I watched them live against Ipswich last weekend, and I gotta say, it was a game of two halves. I mean, with the amount of the game I was able to see, if you guys didn't know that I tried to attend Ipswich Coventry and I had to go via bus replacement service, and because of that, I actually missed 30 minutes. I did, however, manage to catch the Trivella goal, so I'm really pleased that I managed to see that for West Burns, which really could potentially be goal of the season already for the championship. It's absolutely insane I caught it. But in that second half, my goodness me, Ipswich were an entirely different team for the worse, but Coventry were a better team, you know, with what Mark Robins managed to do. He had a triple substitution and it changed the game so much. And I'm telling you, if they're going to be as confident, as determined as they were in that second half, I think Birmingham are going to struggle with that. It's still only one win for Birmingham since Wayne Rooney's taken over. And honestly, I think Coventry, with them having the better of this head-to-head fixture between Birmingham, I think they're going to carry that on. And as a prediction, therefore, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Coventry. I think it's going to be tight, but I think they will be the one that edges the other. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Blackburn versus Leeds. Now Blackburn need a massive response. They lost out to bottom of the league Sheffield Wednesday last time around and pretty convincingly as well, losing by 3-1. They'll be going into this game hoping that they can respond, but they've got a Leeds United team and they're going into this game full of confidence. Again, it's still maintaining the pressure with the top two within the championship, and they managed to beat Middlesbrough here, and it was a really tight game actually. I felt probably not on the ball and chances, but in terms of a scoreline, it was very close. And despite Middlesbrough going down to 10 men, you know, they did well actually to stop Leeds potentially extending their lead. And honestly, if Leeds are able to grind out these sorts of results against this sort of opposition, they have a chance for most teams within the championship, in my honest opinion here. I do see this game being very open. I think Blackburn and Leeds are quite guilty of this as well, of conceding loads of chances. So therefore, I'm going to go for many goals in this game. And as a prediction, I have a bit more confidence in Leeds. Therefore, I'll go for an away win, but I'm going to go for a 3-2 away victory. I have a funny feeling that Leeds may be the team to get the result here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Sunderland versus West Brom. Now, this is interesting because you probably would have thought a West Brom win would be guaranteed, but of course Sunderland had dismissed Tony Mowbray. We actually had a bit of a managerial merry-go-round going around in this midweek. Not only Sunderland, but also Swansea have departed their manager in Michael Duff, which I'll be talking about later. So Sunderland have now parted ways over Tony Mowbray. He's departed for pretty much a season and a bit with Sunderland, and ultimately when he did come in, when Alex Neil did leave Sunderland for Stoke, he had a really impossible task to try and replicate the success that Alex Neil had, but somehow still got him into the top 6. But it tells you, with them in 9th place and them, I think, only winning twice in their last 8, the expectations for Sunderland are huge this year. And it tells you that they really want more consistent results. And even with that, I think if they can get this managerial appointment right, I think they can make up with the recent dip in their form. West Brom, I think despite losing last weekend, they did lose to top of the league Leicester City, and to be fair, you felt with Josh Marsh's equaliser that they would have got all 3 points, but Harry Winks with that last minute goal, it must have been absolute limbs considering it was literally from one end of the pitch to the next. And all credit to Leicester, and West Brom were very brave actually to try and go for the win considering how late they got that equaliser. So it does tell you that Carlos Corberán is actually, for me, at this moment of time, making West Brom feel very competitive within this league. So as a prediction, I still back West Brom, but I'm a little bit nervy that Sunderland could pull off a result with them just sacking Mowbray. I'm going to therefore go... I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to West Brom. I was going to go for a draw, but I'm actually thinking West Brom, if they can approach this game right and they can score early on, I think they can get a couple of goals here. Because Sunderland have been a little bit hit and miss at the back this season, and I think West Brom could exploit it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Cardiff versus Millwall. I won't lie, looking into this game, I'm not seeing too many goals. Cardiff at this moment, dipping in their form a little bit, not really maintaining the same consistency as they had at the start of the season, just dipping down the table ever so slightly at the moment. Millwall, despite their one amazing result against Sheffield Wednesday when Joe Edwards came in, they've really been struggling, and right now, if they're not careful and they don't pick up a win in the next couple of games, they could very easily be within the conversation of falling into the bottom three, knowing that Huddersfield and QPR are now starting to pick up points a little bit more consistently now. It leaves sides like Millwall and some other teams I'll be talking about later on that they really need to step things up. And I've got to be honest, in this game, I feel like Cardiff's great home form so far this season, I think they could edge you here. As a prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to Cardiff. I don't see many goals, but I do think Cardiff are the team that are more likely to get the ball in the back of the net. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Huddersfield versus Bristol City. So, Huddersfield have shown great improvement in my opinion. They're not only improving performances, but they're getting improved results as a result of that. So, at this moment of time, they're still just above the bottom three, but they are closing the gap on other teams around them like Plymouth and like Millwall, who I've just mentioned, and Stoke as well as another team I can think of as well, who are in really deep trouble if they continue with their form and Huddersfield carry on with them picking up consistent points. Whether it's 3 points or a draw, it is technically still 1 point more that you need to achieve to overtake Huddersfield for the relegation point of view. So every point I think is very important for them. Bristol City, they're still, for me, not quite the finished article yet. They still got some things to tinker with Liam Manning just coming in. He's still looking pretty fresh within his role at the moment. And I've definitely seen some signs of good, but I'm also seeing a Bristol City side conceding many chances as well. So that will be one area I think Liam Manning need to work on, which would be improving defence. But as a prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I back Huddersfield to get something at the moment based on their good form and confidence. So I'm going to go for a draw. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Leicester versus Plymouth Argyle. What a result it was for Leicester to stay within the game as long as they did. And what a quality moment for them to get their first goal. They conceded that late equaliser, thinking that it was over. West Brom going for the win. Blistering counter-attack later, and Harry Winks finishes it off. I mean, that tells you about how professional this Leicester team is to stay within the game, and they even have the composure to finish teams off when they feel they've got the chance, and my gosh did they take it. Very, very clinical, Leicester were. Plymouth, they're going into this game really kind of struggling with their away form at the moment. They'll be actually really pleased that they got a brilliant result against Stoke City last time around, a 2-1 victory at home. But right now, if they really need to stop getting into this position, they need to pick up more points away from home, because quite frankly, only 2 points away from home all season is not enough, and they really, really need to pick up more. And honestly, here's a prediction. I think we could see a load of goals here. So I'm going to go for a 4-1 victory to Leicester. I do back Plymouth to score. I think they are good enough to get one goal out of it. but honestly, I think Leicester could have a little bit of fun here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now to the second half of games, we've got Middlesbrough going up against Ipswich. I am really intrigued about this one because I've been very impressed with Middlesbrough's home form, especially quite recently. And in their running of games, they've had a really tough last couple of games or so, Middlesbrough. And they've had mixed results out of it, but what the pattern I've been seeing is that they can outscore many teams at home and maintain clean sheets. But in their last couple of away performances, they've shipped in over 6 goals in their last 3 away games. So they really need to work on not conceding so much. But they're at home and they have actually shown really good promise. I think of their last home game where they beat Preston by 4 goals to 0. A very comfortable victory there. Ipswich away from home have been okay, but recently they're winless actually in their last 3 away games. Rotherham, you also got to think of Birmingham, and then you've also got to think about a defeat against West Brom. So I do think it's going to be a bit nervy for this Ipswich side. I think I see Leicester potentially extending the gap and getting 3 points. Leeds, I think, could get a win against Blackburn. So it really does put the pressure on Ipswich to see if they can get a result. And it doesn't get easier from here from Ipswich. They've got to follow it out with an away game against Watford, then a home game against Norwich, and then a home game against Leicester. And that's not even mentioning their away game against Leeds United. It is a terrible couple of weeks for Ipswich in terms of the teams they've got to face in a short succession of time. Honestly, if they can pick up 10 points from those 5 games, I actually think that'll be really good for Ipswich, all things considered. As a prediction here, however, I'm going to back Middlesbrough. I actually have a little bit more faith they can get a result. I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to Middlesbrough. I've not predicted Ipswich to lose all that often, but I just have a feeling that it's going to be Middlesbrough that get the results here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Norwich versus Preston. Now, I think this one is going to be quite intriguing. Both David Wagner and Ryan Lowe, both managers of both teams under serious pressure right now. I mean, Wagner's been under pressure for pretty much almost since the start of the season. Ryan Lowe is now starting to accumulate that pressure, considering how well Preston started, but now they're really struggling. Not only are they shipping goals, they're really looking toothless in front of goal as well. And I think what that is that Preston are just going through a difficult patch at this moment, because I have seen enough that they can offer a goal threat. They do work hard off the ball, especially when I did see them live against Ipswich. They worked really bloody hard off the ball and made it quite tricky at times. But when you go through a bad rot, it's very difficult to pick up that same intensity, and you do get a bit more nervous. Norwich, whilst they've not been playing all that well, they're still getting results, and they're actually being able to get more positive, consistent results now as well, which does ease a tiny bit of pressure off David Wagner. But there's no denying, I think most fans of Norwich would agree that they want Norwich to be playing a lot better than what they currently are at the moment. As a prediction here, I'm going to back Norwich here. I have a little bit more confidence in them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Norwich in the Alex Neil derby. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is QPR versus Hull City. QPR have shown great improvements. What a win it was for QPR against Preston North End last time around. A 2-0 victory, and I've got to be honest, I think they earned it as well, especially in the second half. I think the first half was a little bit, what's the right word? It was definitely very dull. But second half, I do think QPR really stepped things up, and I do think they will be a powerful force, and they definitely want to try and get out of the bottom 3. And at the rate it's going, give it a couple of games, especially with the short turnover of time of games in this period of the season, they could honestly find themselves out of the bottom 3 by this point next week if they get maximum points. Hull are still maintaining consistency right up there within the table at this moment. I think out of the teams around that 6th to 10th place region, they've been the most consistent, hence why they're still right up there with mixing it within the top 6 because of that consistency. I do think here as a prediction, I do see both teams kind of cancelling each other out for what they've been offering. QPR have definitely got themselves leveled up, but I do think Hull individually have got more quality. So I'm going to go, actually, for an entertaining 2-2 draw. I just envision both of these teams really giving it a good go, and I do think both teams will cancel each other out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game today is Rotherham versus Swansea. So Rotherham are still looking for a manager. Apparently, from recording today, they've narrowed it down to 2 coaches. So Rotherham are just that tiny bit closer of appointing the manager. Swansea would need to do this process as well because they have parted ways with Michael Duff. Interesting, but I am a little bit less shocked I am for what I was when Tony Mowbray left Sunderland here, because I think Michael Duff had shown promise at times, but it just wasn't consistent enough. The football wasn't great to watch, and I do think it's just been a decision that results are not really looking nice, not enjoying the football, which is given enough factors to just change their approach within the season. I do think there could be a managerial bounce coming from Swansea, but Rotherham at the same time have actually been relatively decent at home actually. In their last home game, of course, they picked up a point against Leeds United. And as a prediction here, I actually think they could pick up another one here. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw also. I see both these teams catching each other out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next game to predict is Stoke versus Sheffield Wednesday. What a big game this is for both teams. They really, both of them, need 3 points for differing reasons. I mean, they're both right down there within the championship, but Stoke could find themselves in the mix if they don't pick up 3 points in this game here. And Sheffield Wednesday at this moment of time, their results have improved and their performances have improved. Funny that. So I do think they will be up for this. I'm not too sure if I'm going to back Sheffield Wednesday away from home. I think they're more likely, Sheffield Wednesday, to pick up points at Hillsborough rather than they are with their away ground. Alex Neil does seem to find a way to get himself out of trouble when he's under pressure. We've seen him doing it at Norwich and especially Preston actually. He's done that a lot here, and he's going to need to work his magic here because Stoke at this moment, whilst they did look promising at some point of this season, they're now falling back into that inconsistency realm. As a prediction, I'm going to go for not many goals, and I think we could see a Stoke narrow 1-0 win. I do think there'll be little to separate, but I think Stoke are more likely to find the back of the net. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. The final game to predict, guys, is Watford versus Southampton. What a game to predict here. Watford have improved their form. They're slowly but surely starting to climb up the table, which is very nice for Watford fans considering of the really poor start they had to the season. Southampton are now starting to get into their groove. The players, I think, are now starting to get used to the transition to what they had previously in the Premier League to what Russell Martin's now offering here. Adam Armstrong especially is now starting to chip in with the goals. He will be very important, not only now, but later on in the season, just as long as he stays fit. Watford do have attacking players of their own as well, and I do think actually Watford are now starting to find a way and a style of play, and it is going to help them going forward. But as a prediction here, I think Southampton are going to be going into this game with quite some style, and I think they'll be really confident too. Prediction here, I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Southampton. I think it'll be close, but I think it's going to be the away side that just about edges here. Let me know what you think in the comments down below too. So guys, that wraps it up for my championship predictions. If you agree, let me know in the comments down below. And as always guys, make sure you predict the championship games as well, so you guys can have a chance to score some points on the Leicester Football Prediction League. It's completely free to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, I apologise for the lack of uploads. It's been very tough balancing what I've been doing currently with this, but I think with a break coming up soon, there will be some more content on this channel, so don't you worry. And I will give you a full update on how I'm envisioning this channel going forward too. If you guys enjoyed, please smash the like button. It really does help. Please do hit the subscribe button too, and please share. All these 3 things really do help the growth of this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary if you saw the end of this video. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.